We at Patagonia Public Schools would really like to thank A for Arizona for providing us the funding that allowed us to partner with the Matt Bevel Company and the University of Arizona to create our Universe Within STEM Club. The students are working on the next parts of their module, which I'll leave the details of that up to the teachers. But every time I talk to the students about the club, they are really engaged, they really enjoy it, and they're really getting the benefits of all the collaboration that you folks made possible with your funding.
All right, we are, Catherine Parker and myself, David C.W., are very excited to be doing the STEM Club this year. And one of the notable successes that I've seen has to do with the enthusiasm, the power of the students. So I decided to use that energy and make it a kinesthetic, make it a kinesthetic day. So an example of that would be talking about rotation and revolution in our solar system. Show me what you think rotation means. And then I said, okay, stop rotation and start revolution. And they started moving around in their orbits. Very, very exciting. And that really helped them. It was a motor memory tool that helped them understand and remember these two important concepts. So kinesthetic learning, that's who the kids are. I have to work with who they are. And I like doing it that way too.
See, I'm a middle school math teacher, but I'm working with elementary, with the fifth graders, and you're working with the fourth graders. And I am seeing how we are exposing these younger upper elementary students to math skills that we really don't dive deep into until sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade. And I know that this is going to make the learning so much easier because it's kinesthetic, because they're using their hands and they're connecting it to the solar system and how the planet is moving. They're going to be able to have a more concrete understanding that my normal middle school students do not have. So we have the students using protractors and compasses, which are cool new tools that they haven't seen, and having the hands-on experience and the connection to a real world application when they get to having to do more formulaic learning in middle school, then that's going to be so much smoother for them. I'm sure of it.
Another success that I find has to do with actually the instructors, because if we are not only like happy and collaborative and working well together, so I come up and I look and see, I talk to Catherine, I look at her projects, see how they're coming, and we give each other suggestions. And we know we're at different levels and everything else, and it's nice when you see differences in similarities all at the same time. We all extend slightly differently, our strengths are a little bit different, and so the projects turn out a little differently, but we try to help each other as much as we can.
So one of our challenges is the fact that I am a middle school teacher, but I'm working with 1 hour a week with students that are not my own students. Which can be a benefit because I'm going to have them as sixth graders next year. But the drawback is I don't know how they work together. They don't know me as well and my little signals and cues, and it adds to the difficulties of getting to the lesson and getting things passed out. I have my own system with my own classroom, but they don't know that, and I don't want to waste any time working on that because I want to get right into the science. So
Yes,
that's one of my
I agree with
challenges.
you all the way. I'm so excited to work with the fourth graders. I have them, I'm committed to them for this program and for next year. But if you think my fifth graders are a little squirrely now and then, the fourth graders, they still have cognitive and emotional needs that, they're not used to my expectations, and they don't have some of the maturity yet. I mean, they want it and they're striving for it, but, we still have a long way to go. One of the other problems, or a challenge I should say, is we have so many materials and so many high-level concepts that we're working with. I personally could use an assistant.
Oh, that would be nice.
Someone that could help me set up, stations or centers. And we have like valuable people right here on campus. We have high school interns or assistants that already are in place in other classrooms.
Well, we learned a very important lesson with the data collection, it's always important to know, is there student growth? What are they learning, and what do we maybe need to go back and revisit? But if we just did one big pre-test and then a big post-test with all of these concepts, that's a little much. If there's 20 lessons altogether, what we did was put the first 2 lessons together and took those concepts, and then the next 2 lessons together, and just had a few questions, very, very brief questions for conceptual understanding. Maybe they've already come to the class with some learning, or some, some of those students, they're science buffs already.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's true.
and we want to know that, and we want to know who has absolutely no idea. And then periodically we can go back and let them revise their understanding. As we've worked more, they take a different colored pen and fill in any blanks where they didn't know something, or they can revise their answers. So it's not a test where it's right or wrong, and I tell the students that I just want to know what you know. A celebration of learning.
Right, I agree there. And one of the things that I found was, well, they did a pretest, and we were talking about maybe going to a multiple choice format because some of the kids have trouble writing and reading. And so we still may go to that. So we do the pretest, we assist students that have any reading or literacy problems, and then where we go from there is, okay, we see what they learned the first time, we readdress it in the second lesson, and then, so the multicolors, and I took it another step forward from there, and I said, okay, now that we've done 2 little assessments, and I said, okay, how about you work in your group now and see what else you can add to it, and so a collaborative assessment piece at the end. And then I even said, okay, well, now that you've gone to the collaborative level, why don't you look in your daily doodles and see what more information you can pull out from there. So, and then, they're kind of excited, and then it's another tool, a resource they can use, plus their friends and their teammates are resources as well. And so the main idea is that the kids are going to be learning and building on every skill that they possibly can. It's not about the test, it's about the learning.
We have fully complied with the MOU, and we look to continue this program in the future if possible. Thank you.